Hey everybody, Marty Sleva here, IGN's resident Kingdom Hearts expert. I am here to go through every single second and frame of the amazing Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, which debuted at E3 during Square Enix's first ever press conference on Tuesday morning. This trailer showed us a lot about the worlds we're going to be going to, a little bit about what the story is going to be like, how gorgeous the game is, and how the combat's changed. So we're going to take a look at and see everything Square had to show us. Obviously, as you see here, trailer represents a game in development. This game probably won't be coming out for a while. Square didn't even date it. Square didn't say what year it's coming out, but we are all eagerly awaiting it. And so right here from the get-go, we have two young versions of characters who, if you played the PSP game Birth by Sleep, you'll recognize. On the left with the silver hair is young Master Xehanort, and on the right with the black hair is young Master Ericus. Right here, they're engaging in this sort of philosophical debate, and as you can see from the chess game they're playing, which is sort of a trope used in a lot of fiction. Xehanort has the black pieces. Ericus has the white pieces. This is sort of their ongoing game, their sort of battle of good versus evil. In Birth by Sleep, we saw that Xehanort is sort of, he wants balance between light and darkness, which means sort of, taking a lot of the heart and a lot of the light out of the universe, whereas Ericus believes in light. Ericus in Birth by Sleep was the master of Aquas and Terra, and if you played that game, obviously you know how his fate ended, and Xehanort is he's sort of the big baddie of this whole trilogy of everything that's about to happen. And at E3, Tetsuya Nomura confirmed to us that they were working on the final boss of Kingdom Hearts 3, and that it is in fact against Xehanort. Most likely an older Xehanort who was originally voiced by Leonard Nimoy. Obviously he has passed, so it will definitely be a new voice actor. But as you see here, they're talking about the Keyblade War, which has always been referred to, but never quite experienced in the game. So, yeah, we don't know if Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to have this dual timeline, if we're going to be playing a lot in the past, or if everything's going to be about Sora reliving this. Speaking of the one and only here, we finally get into it with Sora. This first bit of action is actually really exciting. You see, just how lush and green everything is, just how beautiful everything is. But we also get a look at his sort of new movement. He's really versatile in this trailer. You see here, running straight up that wall. In a couple seconds, he's going to be, again, running through those poles. He's going to be climbing mountains. He's going to be hopping over rocks. And we're not 100% sure if these are controlled or whether these are sort of situational based, like a Zelda game. I would imagine it's more like Zelda, to where you're going to run up to a wall like this, and you're going to automatically climb up. You're going to run to a post. You're automatically going to climb across. And the first look, this area is, you can tell by the ruins here and sort of the greenery, we have in Mount Olympus. So this is a Hercules area. This is revisiting a film that we've obviously had. We've had the Colosseum in pretty much every Kingdom Hearts games, but revisiting a different and much more colorful, and we'll soon see bigger part of the world. You see Sora fighting against some of these enemies, the way he's able to move while firing spells. His overall combat is interesting. It reminds me a lot of Kingdom Hearts 2's Wisdom form, which provided sort of a much more versatility in battles themselves. You see here, again, climbing up, sort of leaping, vaulting over things, the really colorful nature. We don't get a lot of, at the beginning of the trailer, we see a lot of solo combat. You would imagine, judging by the HUD right here, obviously the commands are in Japanese, but it's traditional attack, it's defend, it's items, it's magic. The HUD in the bottom right, similar to what we've seen. It changed a little bit from the demos we saw last year, where the characters' heads were actually animated. Like there was emotions, like when they were sort of bobbing up and down, when they got hit, they would react to it. That has gone for a slightly more simplistic, smaller, and streamlined HUD, which obviously I kind of like better. So we see Donald and Goofy there. We see just more attacks in the air. This is the big moment that a lot of us at IGN immediately fell in love with. It shows you just how freaking huge this level is. And when we talked to Nomura-san at E3, we asked him, do you consider this game a open world game? Like, how does this work? Are you just leaping off here? Is this a cutscene? Is this in game? And he said no. What he wanted to do is really, this game, Kingdom Hearts ostensibly, except for 1.5 and 2.5, which were remakes of older games, skipped the entire PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 generation of consoles. So this is really pushing forward what the PS4 and the Xbox One could do. And he said that, yes, the game isn't entirely open world, but a thing like this, everywhere you see, you can go to. There's not going to be any loading screens. This is going to be a persistent, world. I would imagine this is just in the Mount Olympus level. Not necessarily every level is going to be like this. Keep in mind. I would imagine some of the levels are going to be smaller, more compact. But right now, you see just a massive open world, and they really stressed that they didn't want to just do big for big's sake. They wanted to do something that was big but filled with a lot to do. Something that's really interesting and keep the players interesting. You see a lot of cool things here off to the right. You see more ruins. You see some greenery. You see some water. So I'm really interested to see if like these sort of areas, like if you think of the Mulan level from Kingdom Hearts 2, it was big if you actually stitched it all together, but it was comprised of these very small pockets, and you sort of warped from one to the other when you exited. So the idea of a really big open world is something that you could tell, Square Enix as a whole is going towards with games like Lightning Returns, and then obviously anyone who played the Duske demo knows that Final Fantasy 15 is a lot like this too. So to the surprise of no one, this is the direction that Kingdom Hearts is going in as well. You have more enemies here, different looking enemies doing a bull rush, but you see here you have a cool team attack with Goofy. Those are back. We're slowly getting it feels like the combat in the game is really an amalgam of what happened with Kingdom Hearts 2 and then sort of the almost even more action-focused pace of Birth by Sleep. The cool rush team attack, boom, taking them all out. This is a cool moment. It's Sora fighting off against what I assume is the Earth Titan, who was a Coliseum boss in Kingdom Hearts 1. And this is something that Nomura-san really explained, that he wanted the battles to have sort of an epic scope to them. If this is the end of this Kingdom Hearts trilogy, he wants to bring these massive scale boss battles in sort of a David and Goliath kind of feel to it. We also see here that throughout this trailer so far, Sora's been wearing his traditional outfits from Kingdom Hearts 2. We're going to see in a little bit he's going to have a new outfit, but we also see different Keyblades. So we're assuming that maybe at the end of every world, at the end of every boss battle, Sora is grabbing a different Keyblade, which has a different use to it. You see here running straight up the mountainside with the Titan attacking him, and going right here. These sort of massive, almost Shadow of the Colossus-esque. It's not necessarily even QTEs because it feels like you're actually in full control of Sora throughout these, which is crazy and really delivers scope on a level that the series hasn't seen yet. Very cool. We're going to get our first summon, which have been called attractions so far. Again, not sure if that's going to be the final name, but a lot of them are based on instead of being based on characters from Disney movies like Mufasa or anything, or Simba, it's based on rides, like actual attractions at Disneyland. So right here you have the Disneyland train that runs around downtown Disney. This is a cool thing. Like I can imagine this fight has a lot of things like this, of really just sort of sweeping epic moments where the fight becomes more cinematic, but at the same time you're still regaining control of it. That's really cool. You have the shot of the Titan punching you, and if you were on that train, you'd probably get wrecked. But since you are on the train, boom, he doesn't have a hand anymore. This is the first shot we have of, obviously this is a cutscene in engine of Sora's new outfit, which definitely looks, has a bit more red on it. It's sort of reminiscent of some of Riku's outfit a little bit in some of the games. Then we have going forward, this is the new world that they revealed at the press conference. This is Rapunzel's world from Tangled. So we know this is the first confirmed new world in the game. Obviously, it begs a lot of questions. What other worlds are we going to visit? Because obviously, through the course of the Kingdom Hearts games, we have visited a whole mess of Disney worlds, most of the most iconic ones. But since Kingdom Hearts 2 in the past decade, Disney as a whole has acquired properties like Marvel, like Pixar, like Star Wars, and then obviously their biggest thing pretty much ever was Frozen. So I imagine that going forward we're going to see worlds from how amazing it would be. I'm sure there's logistically and legally it's going to be tough to get Hoth in the game, or it's going to be tough to get to Battle of New York, but I can really imagine a Toy Story world or a Frozen world, and I have a feeling that as we lead up to the games, who knows, 2015, 2016, 2017, definitely 2015, but 2016, 2017 release, we're going to see a lot more of that. You get more cool, just magic attacks. You get arrow. You get here's a cool weapon transformation, which is something that you're going to notice a couple times in the trailer. Sora's Keyblade turns into something really dope, and we don't know whether this is sort of indicative of this Keyblade in general can only have one transformation, or if you can sort of occur induce other transformations depending on the Keyblade. But you have right here, it turns into dual pistols, and it goes into this, really cool sort of third-person shooter where he's just completely wrecking this mob of bad guys. And then you see it transforms. It seems to transform even more into just a straight-up cannon. Very cool stuff. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how the combat's evolved in this game. Yeah, that cannon just completely wrecking everyone. Really small, just subtle effects here. The wind going through the bushes. You have reflections on the water. Just cool particle effects from the enemies. It's easy to forget that we haven't had a proper console Kingdom Hearts game again in a decade since Kingdom Hearts 2 came out on the PS2. So this is really showing sort of how much technology has advanced in the last decade. More combat, more spells. Boom. Another attraction, this obviously being, Captain Hook's pirate ship, which is one of those sort of, as you see, the way this summit is moving is a lot like the ride, which actually, sways back and forth. You see here Sora sliding down the hill near Rapunzel's tower. This demo itself didn't showcase, how Rapunzel would be in the game, but you would imagine in this world she's going to join your party and can replace Donald or Goofy as a playable character. And then here we're back at what I assume is Twilight Town from, the opening of Kingdom Hearts 2, fighting some, traditional Heartless. A really cool attack. It's this aerial meteor attack, which, if you look in his hands, I think he's firing those two guns again. So it seems like, the guns have really interesting, different effects than just like, pulling out a third person. It feels like it actually, becomes a new combat mechanic. There you have more Sora interacting with pieces of the environment, and it seems like he's interacting with that piece of paper, but I imagine you could do this on any flat surface during combat. And one of the final attractions we see are the Mad Teacups. Really cool. I'm curious to see how these, where these come from in combat, because you see here he uses them and his MP doesn't go down at all. That X meter doesn't go down. He doesn't move the command meter. So I don't know if it's just them sort of fibbing on the HUD, or if it's a way to do it entirely without actually navigating any of that. You hear Goofy and Donald screaming because they're terrified. Yeah, once again, more weapons transforming into Pegasus and a chariot from Hercules. Yeah, this trailer, what it's really doing is showcasing a lot of how Sora's attacks and how the combat system as a whole is just really expanding. If you played Kingdom Hearts 1, a lot of it can feel like a traditional hack and slash with some, minor RPG and magic elements, almost like a Dynasty Warriors game. But this trailer is really sort of proving that Kingdom Hearts 3 is not going to be like that. And then back at the end, we're back to young Master Xehanort, young Master Ericus, continuing with their chess game. We see here, this is, anyone who played Birth by Sleep knows that this is Xehanort's Keyblade. Whether or not this will be something that we're fighting against in the final battle, or maybe we'll get a chance to actually use it. Though it does look evil. Looks like it has an eyeball in it. Sort of looks like the soul from Soul Calibur. That we will wait to see.
Who's to say I can't change it? And maybe light will prevail. There is more to light than meets the eye. You might be surprised.
More to light than meets the eye. This is just more of sort of the foreshadowing of what the whole story and what the Keyblade War was all about. Has these shades of Lost, of Jacob and the Man in Black's sort of ongoing feud with each other.
Might be surprised.
But yeah, I think this trailer just did a really great job of showcasing the scope of the story, the fact that this arc is truly coming to an end, how gorgeous the game is, how movement has changed, how combat has changed, and some of the new worlds we're going to be going to. So yeah, that was the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer from E3 2015, one of our favorites. Absolutely gorgeous game. We're going to be covering this so much going forward. I don't think this game's coming out anytime soon, but who knows? Maybe we'll say this again at TGS in September. Maybe we'll see it again at PSX closer to the winter. So stay tuned to IGN for everything Kingdom Hearts 3.